You're watching Taste of Victory.
Hey guys, we got a bit of a special deck profile for this video since it is for the starter deck pre-release Beelzemon Cup tournament. So the new rules for this little pre-release event is that you can only use purple decks. And while you have to buy the starter deck to be able to compete from what I understand, you could bring any kind of purple deck. So you can go Minerva Loop or you can go Titamon, whatever you want. However, we're bringing you today an accessible list that is made out of straight from your structure deck along with old support from Beelzemon and X2 and other sets. So if you only have the access to that one starter deck, you're good to go with this list. However, if you're able to get 2, there are some cards that we could up to 4 that would be great for your competitiveness in these events. First, let's take a look at what we're working with. This is Beelzemon. The playstyle is further supported here with the starter deck and soon in Booster Set 12. Basically making it like Sworns if you guys play Yu-Gi-Oh! You mill cards from your deck, which means to send them directly from the top of your deck to the trash and get extra effects based on effects on the card that was milled. For example, we have this Promomon where if it is milled from your deck, you gain 1 memory. You're basically looking to constantly turbo mill your deck, gain effects off of that, either gain memory to make more plays or delete one of your opponent's Digimon. It's a lot of that while also rapidly, aggressively poking at your opponent's security, chipping away at them with bodies, and then eventually getting into your Beelzemon, which could have security attack +1 or unsuspend for game with the Beelzemon Blast mode because he unsuspends and is able to Digivolve for 1 most of the time, which will oftentimes lead into this being the final swing for game. And then you also have Beelstarmon, which gives an Impmon played from your trash off its effect Rush, so that is really good to get another extra swing there to potentially go for game. So yeah, you're basically controlling your opponent's board or extending your turns with more memory off of your mills while you're poking away aggressively at their security. So let's see what cards are going to facilitate that strategy. First up is the egg introduced in the starter deck, Yammon. It is a 4-of, so you can use it out the box. It's when attacking inheritable, once per turn, if this Digimon has Wizard or Demon Lord in its traits, trash the top 2 cards of your deck. So we have a ton of effects to trash our deck, so it's really good to have one we can consistently set off easily every turn in our egg. Then we have Ipmon from the old BT2. This is on deletion, trash the top 3 cards of your deck. So it's a guy you can easily poke into security with and you don't care if it lives or not. It fills your strategy while also chipping away at your opponent's life. Fantastic card. We're going to be running that at 2 and I'll explain why in a little bit. Then we have Gazimon. This guy is fantastic because he blocks all memory gain from your opponents except through Tamer effects. And if we look at our list alone, we have a lot of memory gain in this one. So Gazimon is going to be very useful in this format. That's a nice little 2-of there. Then we got the old X2 Impmon. This is 3 to play, 1000 DP, 0 Digivolve from a purple level 2. When this card is trashed from your deck, if it wasn't trashed by its own effect, you may trash up to 3 cards from the top of your deck. On play, reveal the top 4 cards of your deck, add 1 Digimon card with Beelzemon in its name, and 1 Ayamako among them to your hand, place the remaining at the bottom of the deck in any order, and inheritable while Digimon has Beelzemon in its name, it gets plus 3000 DP. This is an amazing rookie for this deck. It's genuinely incredible, because milling those additional 3 off could be huge. You could reveal another Wizardmon, and you go up to 3 memory, and you're able to make another play, maybe go into Blast mode for game or something like that. You don't know. You're able to delete something with Death Slinger, something like that. It's fantastic, the absolute high roll that effect enables. And that's before even touching on that this is a searcher that grabs multiple targets, so it's fantastic for getting what you need. Then we move on to the new Impmon introduced in the starter deck. We are running it at 2 since that's what it comes at in the starter deck. 3 memory to play, 1000 DP, 0 Digivolve from a purple level 2. When attacking, if you have 20 more cards in your trash, this Digimon can Digivolve into Beelzemon in your trash for a Digivolution cost of 3, ignoring its Digivolution requirements. And you may think that's a big number, but 20 will not be hard for us to hit, even by mid-game, because, I mean, look at all the trashing effects we're going to see soon. We have a trashing effect in our egg alone, you know, let alone all the other effects, so easy target to hit. And then inheritable, your turn, once per turn, when a card is trashed from your deck, delete one of your opponent's level 3 Digimon, which is always nice to have just to make sure we can get rid of floodgates easily, like opposing Gazimon. So we are running this at 2 because it is 2 in the starter deck, but if you have access to 2 and are willing to get them for the time of your pre-release tournament, I definitely suggest running this guy at 4 copies because that ability to warp is really good because you could potentially lead into one of your Beelzemon, delete something, or gain security attack +1, and then Digivolve into the blast mode for potentially only 1 and then swing for game that way. So this is a really good card that helps enable your pressure in this format. But if you're playing with only 1 starter deck, that is why we are running 2 of the old Impmon from BT2. Then we have our final rookie here, which is Candlemon. Same stats as always, and then on play, trash the top 2 cards of your deck, which is again great to get our count up because you saw some effects need 20 or more even. And then on deletion, if you have 10 or more cards in your trash, draw 1. 10 or more is not something that is hard for us to hit by let's say the mid game, so it'll be useful to be able to swing into security just to get some chip, or if your opponent wants to answer it, they're going to be punished for it by potentially drawing into what you need, you know. So Candlemon's a really nice little rookie there that will run at 4. If you want to cut space for any tech options you have in mind, you could probably cut this down to only 12 or 13 rookies. Then we have our champion level 4s, of which we are only running 8 to make room for everything else because this is a bit of an option and top heavy deck. First is Promo Wizardmon. This is being reprinted in the starter deck. Thank goodness. I'm really glad that Bandai is making these promo cards more accessible. We have 5 memory to Heart Slam, 5000 DP, 2 memory to Digivolve from a purple level 3. When this card is transferred from your deck, gain 1 memory. Again, it's amazing because I have seen this get revealed twice and put someone back up into 3 memory to let them Digivolve into their boss. Like, it's awesome. Then it's inheritable is when attacking, you may reveal 1 purple card from your hand and place it on top of your deck, which is really great because it helps you stack the effects you want to mill. So say you need to get an extra memory or something. If you have another promo Wizardmon, you can put it there and then maybe have some when attacking mill or something like that and mill it off. So it's always good to be able to set up and rig the casino. Then we have Witchmon, the partner to Wizardmon. Same stats as Wizardmon. When Digivolving, trash the top 3 cards of your deck. Always good to have an effect like that in a mill-focused deck like Lightsworns. Inheritable, your turn. While a Digimon has Wizard or Demon Lord in its traits, it gains plus 2000 DP. That's really great because that is a huge number. You don't really see that too often in the Digimon card game, so being able to just get that for the traits is fantastic and puts us over some important DP thresholds to not die in security. And that covers our level 4s. It's a pretty brief lineup. We're moving on to our ultimates now, of which we are also only running 8. We have Skull Satamon and Balmon, who are both 4-ofs in the starter deck, so you can just put them in out of the box. Skull Satamon is 7 memory to Heart Slam, 3 to Digivolve from a purple level 4, 7000 DP. When Digivolving, trash the top 2 cards of your deck, then return 1 card with Demon Lord and its traits from your trash to your hand. So that's really cool because we are only running 2 of the blast mode, so we could recycle that if we need it again to go for game. So that is helpful there. Trash the top 2 cards potentially lets us mill something to get more great effects. And the inheritable is your turn. Once per turn, when a card is trashed from your deck, gain 1 memory. Awesome to make sure we don't pass turn going into our mega. Then we have Balmon, who is just incredible. Same stats as Skull Satamon, but its effects are when Digivolving, trash the top 3 cards of your deck, always good. And then when Digivolving, until the end of your opponent's turn, when this Digimon gains on deletion, if you have 10 or more cards in your trash, you may play 1 Beelzemon for your trash without paying its play cost. Inheritable, your turn, while Digimon has Wizard or Demon Lord in its traits, gain plus 2000. So same inheritable as Witchmon, but the effect is incredible. You are now putting your opponent in a really rough spot, because if they try to punish you next turn on this stack, you just get to play your Beelzemon right back if you Digivolved up. You know, that's amazing. And like if something goes wrong on your turn and you get interrupted mid security attack or something, you just play it back out. They are now forced to answer, or you can just do it again next turn. So fantastic card for this deck. After that, we are going to our mega lineup, the exciting part, our level 6s. First up is the old Beelzemon from X2. This guy unfortunately has gone up in price, which is really sad because this guy used to be only like $3. That's when I picked them up, so unfortunate to see that. Hopefully they go a bit down. They are not reprinted in the starter deck, so I'm assuming Beelzemon fanatics had this card lying around from when X2 came out. If you do, it is 12 memory to Heart Slam, 11,000 DP, 3 to Digivolve from a purple level 5. When this card is trashed from your deck, you may play 1 Impmon from your trash without paying its memory cost. When Digivolving, when attacking, you may trash the top 2 cards of your deck, then delete one of your opponent's level 3 or lower Digimon. For every 10 cards in your trash, add 1 to the maximum level you can choose with this effect. Great card because it's letting you control the board, get rid of a threat, while also being able to put pressure on and get an extra body on board. Maybe this deletes the last blocker you needed for lethal or something like that, so it's a good option to have there at 3. Then we have the new one introduced in this starter deck, and I just have to say, I love this art. My goodness, Sasasi, it's so good. I love this art. 4 memory to Digivolve from a purple level 5. When Digivolving, trash the top 4 cards of your deck, and then alternates once per turn. When a card is trashed from your deck, for every 10 cards in your trash, gain 1 memory. So like late game, this is going to be like gain 3 most of the time, or sometimes you can even make it free if it's really late game and you're pushing for game. Your turn, once per turn, when a card is trashed from your deck, this Digimon gains security attack +1 for the turn. So it's getting that off of its own first one Digivolving effect. So this guy is going to be really good for your aggro games, you're able to chip away, and then hopefully Digivolve into the burst mode for 1 if you have the memory, and swing for another 2 or even game. Then we have Beelstarmon. I've been hyping this card up a bit here, so it does kind of relate to the old Beelstar playstyle of hard slamming it. It is 13 to play, 11,000 DP, 3 memory to Digivolve from a purple level 5. For every 10 cards in your trash, reduce the memory cost when playing this card from your hand by 4. So that's great because you'll be able to play it out for a cost of 9. With its effects, I think it's very worth the value. All turns once per turn, when a card is trashed from your deck, you may play 1 Impmon from your trash without paying its memory cost. The Digimon played by this effect gains rush for the turn, which could potentially be game, you know, that 1 extra swing you need. And then opponent's turn, when an opponent's Digimon attacks, trash the top card of your deck, further fueling your graveyard, you know, filling it up. Maybe you hit something that gains memory and passes turn, or something that deletes one of their Digimon. So that's awesome. Then we have Blast Mode. I've been referencing this card a lot because it is super good. 4 memories to Digivolve from a level 6 that's purple, 14,000 DP. When this card is trashed from your deck, delete one of your opponent's level 3 or lower Digimon. For every 10 cards in your trash, add 1 to the maximum level you can choose with this effect. When Digivolving, unsuspend this Digimon. If you have 20 or more cards in your trash, gain 3 memory. So oftentimes you are going to be Digivolving into this dude for 1 by the time you have it ready. And then being able to remove something again is really useful to make sure it doesn't prevent you from game or to prevent them from going for game next turn. Very useful card that helps you push for game. After that, we have our options and our tamers that are basically going to facilitate the strategy and gain us off of our mill. We have Mist Memory Boost, which synergizes very well with this deck because it is 3 memory, and then main, trash the top 2 cards of your deck and draw 1, and then place this card in the battle area, and then you have the effect of delay, which means to just send it to the trash from your battle area, gain 2 memory. So it draws, it fills your trash, maybe you even get effects off of that trash. It's a really good card that does a lot for this deck. After that, we have Deathslinger. This is one of the cards that is really huge for taking advantage of all the milling we do. It's only 4 memory, but it has the effect when this card is trashed from your deck, gain 1 memory. That is huge. Main, delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. For every 10 cards you trash, add 1 to the maximum level of the Digimon you can choose with this effect. So because this starts at level 4 instead of level 3 like all the other effects, this scales so quickly. You are easily going to be removing level 6s with this 4-cost option because of all the mill in this deck. It's awesome, and if you can find the space, I would max this out even. Especially since that gain memory, like maxing out on the gain memory from Wizardmon and Deathslinger makes it so good for the high roll potential in the deck. So if you can find the space, by all means. After that, we got Rivals Barrage. This comes at 2 in the starter deck, so we're running it at 2. This is 7 memory. When this card is trashed from your deck, you may place it in your battle area. Main, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the highest level. Main, delay. Return 1 purple Digimon card or purple tamer card from your trash to your hand. Another card to be able to potentially get us back Blast Mode to go for game, or to get the other Beelzemon to get security attack +1 if that's how many hits you need left to win, you know? So it's fantastic. It might be a little bit confusing for newer players, so a quick explanation here. You can use every option card, so when you play it from your hand, you are using the main effect, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the highest level, and then that's it. It doesn't say anything like place it in the battle area. Once you use this effect from hand, you are sending it to the trash. The mill effect is what puts it into the battle area. When it's card trashed from your deck, you may place it into the battle area. Only then can you activate the delay effect after it's stayed on the field for a turn. So it's like a versatile option is the best way to think of it. Like either way, you're happy to see this because you could delete something, or you could get it into the battle area off of the mill and then delay it next turn to be able to grab something you need. It's very cool. Its security effect is delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the highest level, so out of security, this is really good. This is one of the cards, if you have access to 2 starter decks, I definitely suggest upping this to 4. I would maybe, like I said, cut down on the Candlemon and up this to 4. Absolutely, if you have it, if you have access to 2 starter decks, because like that high roll potential, not only to see this milled, but also in security is invaluable in this game. So we'll cut that down to 2, as that's what we have. And then finally, the tamer of this deck is Ai and Mako. They are 3 memory to play. On play, reveal the top 4 cards of your deck. Add 1 Digimon card with Evil, Wizard, or Demon Lord and its traits among them to your hand. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. Your turn, when one of your Digimon digivolves into a purple Digimon, you may suspend this tamer to place 1 card from your hand on top of your deck and gain 1 memory. Great searcher, and then it lets us rig the mill to make sure we get the effect we want off. It's fantastic. So that is going to be the list. This is a fantastic deck that I think is going to do very well into a lot of those decks you expect to see, like Minervamon, like Titamon, you know, whatever else you'll be able to see in the mirror. You are able to play your skill list still. It's not just high roll, so you definitely have to be careful with your stacking and when to attack and when not to. It's a fantastically fun deck. I love this, and I am absolutely picking this up now because not only do I think is Beelzemon one of the peak designs of the franchise, it's also a really fun deck, and it's getting new support and boosted set 12, so I want to be ready for that. And this starter deck is just amazing. It comes with alt arts and everything. I can't wait. I'm so excited. And I hope you guys are too. Let me know what you are building for this event if you're not taking Beelzemon, and if you are taking Beelzemon, let me know what you are running differently in your list. I'll see you in the next video, and until then, remember to stay hungry until you get a taste of victory.